guys, this is the day 3 homework. I'm going over the homework because it seems like a lot of you struggled with this. So let's start with 17. City with a population of 120,000, so that is our principal, is decreasing. So we're going to use this formula, right? But since it gave you the rate, we write it in decimal and then t as my time. So if you simplify, it's times 0.97 to the t power. And it's asking what the population would be after 10 years. So it's asking t equal 10, and then when you plug it in to the formula that you found, it's 0.9. So you can write it as 88491. Next question. You deposited 1,000 into an account that pays an annual interest rate of 5% compounded quarterly. I know the question gave you the formula to use, but because it's a compounded quarterly, you also know that you are going to use this formula. And so it's asking how long will it take for it to equal 1,500. So let me plug in all the values that I know. 0.05. And then quarterly compounding is n equal 4. And we don't know what t is, but this equals to 1,500. So we go one by one. We divide by 1,000 first. And then that number inside, this in the parentheses is 1.0125 to the 4t power. That equals to 1.5, right? 1,500 divided by 1,000 is 1.5. So this one, since our goal is to bring the t down, we have to use log, and I usually use ln. And let me just rewrite everything to remind you how to solve the log problem. And since that power can come forth, it becomes ln 1.5 equal 4t ln this number. So do you see how only thing I want is t, and right now it's 4 and ln of this is multiplied. So then we divide both sides by the same number. So that the t value gets found. So ln of 1.5 divided by that number, which is 8.16 years. Okay, so the unit is years. And then it says how long it will take for your money to double. So the doubling question, in the end, what mattered was that if you set p equal 1 and then the other side equal to 2, so 2 is equal to 1 plus 0.05 over 4 to the 4t power, right? And there is nothing to divide because I just need to put it in the ln. So ln 2 is ln, what was it, 1.0125, because the same as before, 4t. Again, 4t can come down. And then in the end, what you do is that to make sure the t is isolated, you divide everything by 4 times ln 1.0125. Okay, so it's a very similar problem as the one on the top, except you are dividing ln 2 by that number. So then you get the answer about 14 years because it's 13.9 in the calculator. Let's move to the next question. If you deposit 2,000 in an account paying 6.4% interest compounded continuously, so from that word continuously, you know that you are using A equal PERT. Right? So how long will it take for your money to triple? So again, it doesn't really matter whether or not you have an actual value because it will just become 3 on the other side. But to make it easy, let me just write it the way it is. So then first step is dividing both sides by 2000. So like I said, this will become 3 and e to the 0.064t. So we're going to use ln, okay? And this one, I'm just going to write it as a log form, okay? So ln is the log base e. So whatever is inside is what it's equal to, and this is equal to your power. So then, to get t by itself, you need to divide both sides by 0.064. So then t is equal to 17.17 years. 63. A bought a used car for $2,500 and it is expected to depreciate, meaning it's going down, okay? So 2,500 depreciating every year, and how much would it be in 3 years? So you can type that into your calculator, and it's $1,054.69. Okay, hopefully that wasn't a too difficult problem. 64. For a certain strain of bacteria, K is 0.728, and we talked about K is basically the rate of growth, and T is days, number of days. Using the formula, they gave you a formula to use, which is y equal a times e kt, and a being the initial number, right? So 10 is a, and y is 675, and you want to know how many days it takes. Okay, so let me plug it in. E is a number, so once you simplify a little bit by dividing both sides by 10, you can rewrite this in terms of log form, just like I did with the other problem. So ln, it's log base e, 67.5 is equal to 0.728t. So to find t, all you have to do is divide both sides by this number. So then t is equal to 5.8-ish. And then the unit is days, because it said t is in days. Last one. The population of a city 20 years ago was this. Okay, so that must be your initial. And since then, the population has increased at a steady rate each year. If the population is currently 55,250, find the annual rate of growth for this city. So this is a question where I know the end product if I assume that this was 20 years ago. So 1 plus r, 20. So we divide both sides, and then that number is some ugly number, so I'm just going to write it as fraction, because it's best not to round it until the very last. Then I have 1 plus r to the 20th power. And this one, you do not need to use log. You are only using log when the power is unknown, and power is known. So all you have to do is that you raise both of them by power of 1 over 20. So it's the same as taking the 20th root for each side. Okay? So then, and then you simply subtract 1 after you get this number. And that number is 0.04186. So that means your R is 4.2%-ish. So the one thing you need to remember obviously is to know which formula to use. And the other part is when do you use log to solve for the variable and when do you use root. Okay, so the quick way to know that is when your t or when your power is missing and you need to find the power of something, you use log. But like in this case, when your power is known and it's something inside of the power, then in the base, then you need to use the root. Okay, so I hope this is helpful, and I'm sorry I didn't make this video soon, and I will see you later.